Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly, sort of, Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week, obvious, talking about the keynote, live letter, and patch 4.56. It's going to be a super show, cramming it all in there. We have a couple announcements at the start, but without further ado, let's get started because it'll be a long show. Anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Happy Pilgrim. Of course, joining me is Slyh, aka Slythefox, aka Slyh, aka Greyfox, aka you, my boy Blue. How you doing? I'm out of practice. I've only been gone a week.
Yeah, man. Japan was too much for you, huh?
No, I ain't got no jet lag, but yeah, it was a hell of an experience. Oh, we can talk about that another time.
Yeah. All right.
And we have a really special guest on the other one. It's the only, and this is a world first right here. This is a world first. It's the first ever male Viera, Ethys Asher. How you doing?
Yeah, Mercidia only. Arrogator, Mina-san, Konbanwa. Howdy. How are y'all doing? What's up?
I don't know what you even just tried to do right there.
I don't either.
You were doing Japanese with like an American accent, so I was...
It sounds way worse coming up from an Australian.
It sounds like you're trying to do Southern.
Yeah, Southern Japanese. Yeah, you know.
It was bad. Yeah. That was real bad.
Did you pick anything up while you were over there?
Coasters from Eorzea Cafe. And this mask.
Oh.
The Asahi mask looks way better.
Extremely terrifying.
It is. No, the Asahi mask was way more terrifying. Way. If you haven't seen it on Twitter.
I saw it. It was like nightmare fuel.
No, but the Tadaru mask. And I can actually see through it, but like right here. So like her mouth and my mouth coexist if I wear it like this. So.
Oh my.
Diggity. Before we get started on what will be a very long show, we have a couple things to announce at the start. First of all, of course, we have to thank our sponsor, SteelSeries, who provides giveaways every month to State of the Realm. Just go to the description of the YouTube video. There's a Gleam link there. Enter, follow anything for extra entries, and you have a chance to win some free SteelSeries stuff every month. So thank you to them for sponsoring my channel, the show, and for having some pretty awesome hardware. Now, before we get started, we do have an extra announcement. So, one of our community members by the name of Aqua's Sacrifice, very Kingdom Hearts name, of course, he responded to a Twitter post from NVIDIA, and basically they picked a winner, and they gave me this, a nice GeForce RTX 2060. I haven't opened the box yet. So thank you to Aqua for winning me this. That's the announcement, right?
Right. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Yeah.
Actually, I do have. Hold on. I do have these. I got a few spares.
Well, don't drop them.
Yeah. Well, obviously, I got a few spares, and I don't know what to do with them. So I figure we should just give them out on State of the Realm, yeah?
Yeah, that sounds like a great plan.
People are going to want to upgrade their computer before, we get to Shadowbringers, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Some Viera graphics, though.
Yeah. So for every 2 weeks for the next 2 months, since I have 4, and that makes for 2 months, we're going to have an extra giveaway under the YouTube video for one of these RTX 2060s. So on top of the SteelSeries giveaway, also be sure to enter this one, and definitely go do that. And thanks to NVIDIA for providing us with all this bonus right here. This is the first time bonus, by the way, for the show. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. So.
Whoa.
Oof, thanks to them. Thanks to Aqua, because I didn't even enter to win these. Aqua entered me, and then they had to ask me if it was okay if I won. To which I no. No, sorry. I don't think I want those. No, no, but I definitely did. So thank you. Now we can, on that awesome note, we can now talk about, I guess you could talk about Final Fantasy.
I guess. Sure. Why not?
Yeah. So Tokyo Fan Festival is this last weekend.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting times. I'd say this since Saturday has been interesting, to say the least.
It's been a roller coaster, let's be real.
Yeah.
Has it?
I actually think it's been more of a roller coaster for you guys than me, because I got to be blissfully ignorant because I was busy in Japan and I didn't have time to sit there and.
But see, that's the thing. You were at the source. You were there. You were watching it live.
And everyone was just like, "Oh."
There's the difference. Now, see, for North America and Europe, we're not reserved. We show our hype. Whereas in Japan, I felt like it was a lot reserved during the trailer and everything. We would have probably lost our collective shit. Mm-hmm. Like there would have been so much screaming during the trailer and everything. Japan, no. Wait until it's over.
They cheered, but like I'm referring to later parts. Was not
very polite.
Yeah. So, like I said, I got to be blissfully ignorant to it for the most part of the weekend.
Oh, loud.
But yeah, the last Fan Fest is over, and now we're on the final stretch to Shadowbringers. We've got the job adjustments or the new job ability thing coming in May. We got early access. We got the 14-15 collab coming out, the live letter. We got the announcement on that, and we're good to go. Right? We're in the home stretch.
I think I hear
I'm sorry, was that Arsenio Hall in the background? What the fuck?
It's just a dog. I guess he's excited.
My neighbor just went to work because the dog's not happy.
I think the dog smelled a Hrothgar and they don't like cats. So
you're probably right. Right.
Yeah, that's probably it. So, God, I guess we should just get started with the most obvious thing, the trailer. Which, I mean, was pretty much just a massive patch 4.56 spoiler in itself. Yeah. But, before we go any further, we will be spoilering things. So, you've been warned. Nothing is off limits on this show.
This is the spoiler cast.
It's only a spoiler cast because at this point, if you've seen the trailer, like, you already know what's like. If you've seen the opening keynote, you just know what's about to happen, you know?
Right.
So I can't in good conscience be like, well, we gotta wait a week to talk about patch 4.56, you know?
No, we don't.
So you've been warned. So if you complain, too bad. Okay. It says 4.56 in the trailer. I mean, in the title. That's close enough. People
yeah.
All right. So that trailer. I would play it, but like our show's already going to be running for time, so just go Google Shadowbringers full trailer if you haven't seen it yet, please. Oh boy, that's a bombshell and a half for the expansion, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So first, we just get the scenes we've already seen. You know, well, just quickly the scenes we've already seen. Already seen the Warrior of Light fighting the Sin Eater. I guess we'll just officially start referring to them as that, or the Light Scent, whatever you prefer. We've seen Gunbreaker Thancred protecting Minfilia. We've seen Ishtola and Orion J, or having the Matoya conversation in the Raktika Greatwood. In addition to that, they extended the Warrior of Light fight for whatever reason. I don't know. I guess maybe they decided to add those like little extra fighting tidbits. But we got a pretty big bombshell about where we're going and why, more specifically. In that we are indeed going to the First. Which is, for those who don't know, we are on the Source. And the First is one of 13, I guess, original replicas, in a sense, that's got its own people, its own cultures and stuff that have developed. But it is started as a complete copy of the Source from the beginning. And it's the same place that Artbert told us about in 3.4. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't think we were going to the First. But I'm just as excited that we're going to the First. I don't know about. I know Ethys is like, dude, I got so much shit we haven't seen here.
Yeah, I've got shit to do on the source.
No, we'll be all right. Come on, you got to be a little excited that we're going to the first Ethys.
Oh, yeah, I'm.
What
I'm
about
excited.
these Garleans? What about all that shit? And we have to leave and go to the first, and meanwhile, we're probably fucked here if we just leave them alone for too long. We come back from the first, and everything is in flames. People are dead.
No. Well, listen, I'm sure here will be fine while we're there. I'm sure there's going to be some, like, I don't know. So there's probably going to be some explanation as to why shit doesn't completely fall apart here. And I have a feeling our efforts... Yeah. Dude, Estinian's... we're talking about that later. Estinian's my bro, all right? I'm convinced of that now more than ever. No, I mean, here, that's the thing, though. Like, Sly, you nailed it. Aren't we supposed to be dealing with the Garleans? Wasn't that what the first Fan Fest said, is that we're going to bring an end to the Garlean threat? Do you think that's just because of who's in charge of the Garleans right now, and we're going to deal with him?
Knowing what we know from this weekend and through the trailer, I put a little money on it that we deal with it within 5.0, like through leveling and everything, and it just gets left behind. Like, we deal with it, and then we go to the first. The way they did 4.56, I'm pretty confident.
What about you, Ethys? How do you feel about this? How is the focus to deal with the Garleans, but we're literally going to a place far away?
I'm kind of suspecting that it's going to be, like Stormblood was split between the East and the West. We're going to find out that we need to deal with a potential flood of light both on the first and on the source. And we're going to be like hopping back and forth a lot once we've established our role as the Warrior of Darkness. That's what I'm hoping. But out of all the zones that have been revealed, only one of them is on the source.
And which one is that?
Raktika.
Are we sure that's on the source?
Yeah, we're sure it's on the source.
Because that's not the same as Golmore. That's not. You got to keep in mind.
No, it's not the same as Golmore. But when you have a look at the trailer and Urianger and Yostolo talking about, until he returns, until our friend returns, it seems like that's. I'm pretty certain that's on the source. But pretty much all the other ones are on the first.
It seems. God,
yeah, so that's why I was bringing it up, because Raktika's Aetherites are the same as the first Aetherites. That's why I was bringing it up, because I don't think Raktika's. I don't think any of our new zones are on the source.
Apparently, Koji was saying that Raktika is not on the source. So Raktika is like the Golmore equivalent. So none of the zones that we've seen so far are on the source.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not unless they're. I don't think. Yeah, basically, like, we have a Limsa equivalent, a Gridania equivalent. Like, there's equivalents to our areas over on the first, and Raktika kind of fits in that that sort of thing. Yulmore fits as kind of the Limsa one, even though it's kind of a last bastion of humanity kind of thing. Amarang, I don't know about. I don't remember what the Aetherites looked like in the Amarang teaser. You have to look. That's pretty much your easy way to tell, is to look at the Aetherites.
But we can see the Crystal Tower from Amarang.
We can see we can see the Crystal Tower from Lakeland. But you're assuming that if we could see the Crystal Tower from Amarang, it's not
our Crystal Tower.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, there's.
So it's got to be first.
Yeah, there's. They named his own. What's the problem with naming his own Lakeland?
That was pretty funny. We've got like Amarang, Irmeg, Yulmore, Novrant, Lakeland. It's like,
it's so basic.
All right, sure.
That's what those
is it a
people
lake
call
or is it a land? Who knows?
It's a land of lakes.
Yeah.
Listen, I think it's fine. So that was so that we know we're going to the first. We know also from the opening keynotes that the first is called Novrant or Novrant, whatever it's pronounced. You probably know better.
Yeah, Novrant is the name of the region. So Novrant is like Eorzea, basically. Yeah. And it's all that's left.
Yeah, everything else has been swallowed by the flood of light at this point. And we are going to fix it.
Well, yeah, we're going to stop it.
Yeah, we don't. I mean, I'm sure the rest of the world isn't magically fixed, but
yeah,
we're at least going to stop it from being destroyed all the way.
I'm really glad about that in a way that most of it is destroyed, because it means that we get these zones that are like the size of Eorzea, and then we could just yeet on back home. It's like we don't have to explore the whole rest of this world before we get to come back and explore Ilzabad and Thavnair and Mericidia and the New World, you know?
So with that, we got some other zones that were teased in the trailer. You already mentioned Lakeland is one that's mentioned. Another couple that are shown in the trailer was probably my favorite one that they revealed was the Crystarium. Which is basically the area right outside the Crystal Tower over in the first. And just seeing that, for anyone who hasn't, please go to YouTube and type in 2005 Rapture. I guess you could just type in that. You'd probably find it. Crystarium is based off of a zone for Final Fantasy XIV 1.0's tech demo back in 2005.
Yeah, they showed that off during the dev panel as well. When they were talking about making the Crystarium, and they showed off every little bit and little tidbits and all that. Yeah, that was my first time seeing it, and in comparison, I'd say it looks a whole lot better.
I mean, listen, this is pre 1.0 versus now. If it didn't look better, I'd be very
not graphically speaking, but in terms of like the scope and idea they had through that trailer, it definitely looks better. Yeah,
dude, I don't think I've been this excited for a new zone ever. Like just all the new zones we've seen, like even looking back to Heavensward and Stormblood, it's pretty intense seeing some of these things. I don't know how you guys feel about it. Like I'm more excited for the place we're going than I have been for the last two expansions.
I'm not there yet.
What's holding you back?
I don't know. It's just, I mean, I'm excited to go to the first, but I just need to see it for myself. I need to see the intricate details and everything, both visually, lore-wise. Yeah, I'm not at the point where it's like, oh my God, I really want to go there.
What about you, Ethys?
I mean, I'm sort of two minds about it. Obviously, I'm really excited to go there and explore it and, learn the 10,000 years of history that this new place has got. But on the other hand, it's like, I've still got shit to do on the source. We're opening the gates on this other new world and its history and culture and all of that when there's still so much that we don't know about our own. And I'm just a little bit, I don't know, I'm excited, but I'm nervous.
The dog is more nervous.
The dog is very, very nervous. I love it how he only started as soon as we went live.
Exactly. He's like, you
got a show to do? Oh, let me get in on that. Yeah, I've always wanted to be on a podcast.
Exactly. For me, I guess the thing that excites me about the Crystarium and the areas, really the Crystal Tower is at the center of it all, because that rewrites a part of our own history as well as history of, I guess, all the worlds. Yes. We were under the assumption until that trailer and this keynote that the Crystal Tower was built by the Allagans as a means of siphoning energy from Dalamud, right?
That is what we've been led to believe, yes.
It seems the Allagans simply repurposed it for that reason, because it existing on more than one shard indicates that it has been there since the source was split.
Because
I doubt that they're just like, well, you know, what are the odds? We all built a crystal tower, right, guys?
I mean, that is very unlikely, but as we know, like Silver Tier is sort of the beating heart of Ether on our worlds. And we just assumed that, well, the Allagans built it there because of that, right? There's all this ether, there's all this crystal. They built a crystal tower, cool. Maybe they did that on all the other worlds. It seems pretty unlikely. I mean, when you look at the crystal tower, it does not look Allagan. Like, they put Allagan stuff in it, but it doesn't look Allagan. So we're working under the assumption at the moment that it's this kind of like interdimensional etherite that just all of the worlds have, and it's this point where all of the worlds are kind of vaguely connected.
So you're saying that pretty much every shard has a different purpose for the crystal tower?
No, that's all I'm saying so much. I'm saying that it seems that, well, either it was like obvious and intuitive for people to build a crystal tower in that equivalent place on every shard, or else it's just a naturally occurring thing that it has like different uses, like different potential uses. But I mean, the Allagans were using it to open a portal to one of the other shards. Is what they were doing. They were opening a portal to the void.
Is it possible that in the process of them opening it, they then built them in other shards, and Allagans had far more of a reach than we kind of know? And maybe they still conquer one of the shards or some shit like that?
See, I really hope not. If we go to the first and there are Allagans there, I'm going to be like, come on. Because again, as far as we know, the Allagans' first attempt to reach other dimensions ended in calamity almost immediately. But that's an interesting thought. Maybe what they did in opening that portal to the World of Darkness also produced crystal towers, like on all the other shards. That'd be interesting.
Yeah, because Yoshi P had made mention. I don't remember Yoshi P outright saying, "Oh, this happened at this time." But he's like, "Oh, I thought that the crystal tower was, you know, built by the Allagans." You know, like he kind of played that whole like, I don't know. But there's the crystal. I think the crystal tower at this point is the single best like piece of another Final Fantasy that they've put in Final Fantasy 14, and this kind of just keeps establishing that because it's been so important for everything that's like kind of transpired across the game. It's the core of the Allagans, who have been the core of so many of our problems with Bahamut and now the first, and it's I'm excited.
Do you want to see Allagans on the first?
I don't necessarily want. I want to see if after the calamity that wiped them out, if they escaped instead of being wiped out. That I want to see.
But if they escaped through the crystal tower, you would think that Xande wouldn't be still sitting in the crystal tower, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. He froze himself. That's the thing, though. It was like then it's like he froze himself. You know, when the crystal tower was, you know, everything was destroyed and it was submerged. You don't know, though. He had his thing with the World of Darkness, dude. He could have had. He's like, I ain't going nowhere. All right. I'm just saying, that's the thing now. I don't know anymore. Maybe some of them escaped. Graha's Allagan descent, and we're pretty sure at this point that that's him.
Well, he's not technically Allagan descent.
He's got,
He's descended from someone that was friends with an Allagan and got an infusion of Allagan blood.
He's got Allagan in him at this point. Yeah, because Allagans weren't Miqo'te as far as we know. They probably assimilated them at some point, but not naturally born. Dude, I'm excited. I'm on edge. We still got months to go.
Yeah, we do. We really do.
Not that long.
Oh, it's long enough, man.
It is months.
It is months. Oh, man. Anyway, we also get to see our first peek at another city there, Yulmore, which is where we learn that Miqo'te can indeed be fat.
Yeah, boy.
We got Big Chungus in Miqo'te form.
Dummy thick.
That'd better be a body option. Oh my god.
What? Chungus? The two clans are like the first one and the Chungus clan.
Yeah, I want him to be playable. That would be amazing.
Dude, you're going to have, they're going to replace TP with the stamina feature, and every, 30 seconds, you got to stop and let it recharge.
Oh, we got the Echo. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
All they know how to do is sit and eat.
Yeah, but if you have the Echo, you can eat whatever you like and still kick ass.
But you're not fat.
What was the explanation for it? There was an explanation for the fatter cats. I think I'm trying to remember what they said. It had something to do with Aether or something, like how we on the source absorb Aether, and I forget.
I just assumed they ate all the other cats.
For me, it was more like Yulmore is the last bastion of humanity, pretty much, and they're like, well, it's ending, so fuck it. They're just that's it. They're just fucking eating themselves.
Yeah,
to death before the light takes them.
And another thing about Yulmore, that kind of irks me, but at the same time, I kind of love the hood and the upper echelon are separated by one door. That is horrible ass city planning.
It's a big door.
It's a big fucking door.
Big door.
It's a big door.
It's a real big door.
It's one gate. For a while.
One gate.
I think again at that
two
point,
guards, I think.
At that point, they're like, what's the point? They're like, it's only a matter of time before the light sense, the sin eaters come in and kill us all. So fuck it. There's one door, there's two doors. There was probably 100 doors before. Now there's one. Whatever. Let's just keep it.
And the big door does only have a small part that opens. It's like the king it's like the door outside of King Mickey's throne.
Oh God, I was hoping you didn't say that.
Why not? What else would I say? That's the best thing to compare it to.
Anything else?
Yeah, the hood in Ishgard is a staircase. You don't even have to walk past anybody. You're just well, I'm here now.
And it is a actual fucking hood. It's nothing like the broom. That makes the broom look so good, so appealing.
Well, the broom won't look good till after we fix it. Which will be here. It's kind of funny that we're going to the first, but we're fixing Ishgard at the same time. They're like, wow, shit got real bad here. We should probably fix Ishgard, yeah? Oh, yeah, so I don't know, dude. I'm big into I like the big fantasy theme they seem to be going for with the whole expansion. Including the 8-man raids and the dungeons we've seen so far. So for me, seeing shit like that is fantastic. There's a lot more diversity in it, and we get a better idea of that throughout the rest of the opening keynote, where they describe the new beast race, sort of. And I know I heard you had some thoughts on that. Ethys. We'll get to that in a second. They showed off the 8-player raid. They showed us one of the main antagonists that they wouldn't tell us anything else about. And of course, they showed off all those zones like Lakeland, for example, which is basically the Mordona of that area, because it's around the Crystal Tower, just like Mordona. I mean, it kind of looks like a more fantasy-esque Mordona. So pretty much is. Crystarium's built around that, and the Lakeland's around the Crystarium. I don't know. I like the high fantasy feel. We just don't have that.
Yeah, I like it.
Great. You just want to see more of Vilsabor at the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
We put up this wall so we could go to the first. Exactly. I just want to know what the hell's going on with Emmett Selk or Solace. We're assuming they're one and the same at this point, but
yeah,
I want to know what the fuck's going on with those two, because he's gone. We don't know where he is. He's got to be there. There's some bad shit going on.
What, you think he's on the first?
Why else would he be in the thing? I don't see much else a reason unless he's on the poster. We didn't even see Alphino or Alisei in that trailer. I thought we were going to see Alphino and Alisei in that trailer.
You did think that, didn't you?
Yeah. But in the Crystal Tower, they show that area with the gates that actually seem to allow for travel between the shards. And a lot of people are pretty convinced that's Grahatia, myself included. Mostly because if you look at the poster, you can see the tattoos along the eyes that he has. Not that it couldn't be somebody else, but at the very least, he's part Grahatia.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a cat boy. He doesn't have ears, he doesn't have a tail, but he looks like a cat boy. And to be fair, like those are probably the first things that would snap off when you were all crystallized. I don't know. Arbit. Okay. So Minfilia, right? She's in a completely different body. You can't take your body with you unless you do it the way we are going to do it, however that is. But Arbit, when he traveled from the first of the source, had to give up his body, and he was in a new body on the source. And traveling back, he's got to do the same thing, right? So the problem is that if you're like me and you're in camp, I really want this character to be Arbit, then having the character be a Mikote or something that looks like a Mikote doesn't actually contradict that. Because Arbit could look and sound like literally anything. So I think it's definitely a possibility. There's Grahat here. I think it's probably a new NPC. I think it's probably someone we haven't seen before. But like I say, we haven't established yet that it's not Arbit either.
Okay. I'm going to go in the boat that if it's not Graha, it's like how Minfilia is not Minfilia technically anymore. Mm. She's the word of the mother.
Mm.
So
you're saying if it's not Graha, it is Graha?
Yes.
It's not anymore, just Graha's body.
At the very most, that's where I'm going with that. The only thing that'd be weird is if you, for some reason, didn't do the Crystal Tower, he'd be introducing himself for the first time, and that would have to mean that canonically somebody else did the Crystal Tower, or that it's Gra from another, like, reality. I guess technically, if you never did the Crystal Tower, he could still technically, like, be him. It's just, you had nothing to do with it. That's it. It's just you had nothing to do with it this time. They said that you don't have to do the Crystal Tower, but Yoshi did say that just so you know what's going on, you probably should.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of which, do we think at this point that gate is what Nero's scanner picked up when he threw it?
I thought that was a completely separate issue.
I thought that was the weapon cache of like the Allagan weapons that were created from Proto-Ozma beneath Crystal Tower, because we're still under the assumption the Allagans have weapons that were created and they still hold them under, like, at least the very least it's a possibility that Kryl suggests is a real thing. We don't know that for certain. It's possible they originally intended to use that scene to lead us to Eureka and are now retconning it. I guess not really retconning, but now deciding that since that's not what it's for this.
Yeah, I mean, they kept it deliberately vague at the time, obviously.
Yeah.
So
maybe it picked up the beacon that we're looking for.
Yeah, maybe it picked up the beacon. People have been suggesting that maybe it is the beacon in some way. I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't know.
Possibilities.
Yeah.
I just want to talk about
them. I mean, maybe Nero already knows what the Crystal Tower is.
Yeah, he's one of those cockheads who would keep that shit a secret.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Until he wants to tell Sid. Then he'd be like, well, of course, idiot. That's how he rolls. Are we thinking Nero's going to play a big role in this? I feel like us going back to the Crystal Tower, he's going to be like, hey.
Yeah, he's got to. I mean, we've already established that that Ironworks are consulting on the problem. So yeah, Nero and Sid are going to be involved for sure.
I'm wondering how it's going to play out now that, Sid knows that Gaius is alive. How that will play out with Nero as well.
Yeah, what the fuck's going to happen with Gaius now? Like, I'm so, like, all these characters we have here on the source, I now have to try and relate them to what's happening on the first.
I think that, like, Gaius and Estinian and, they're just going to be handling stuff on the source while we're gone.
That's it. They're just gonna take care of it. Like, yeah, no worries, man.
Yeah, it's gonna handle it. Yeah, it seems that way.
I don't know. And then we still have Xenos, not Xenos, because now people have readopted Elidibus Xenos into Xenos, like Eli, and then the other Xenos is Xenos with ELE. So, yeah,
so
that's a
naming
mess.
convention.
It's like Xenos. Yeah, we've got all these fucking Garlean characters, and now we're leaving. So I'm like, I'm really fucking confused as what we're doing with all of them. See, I prefer Xenolidibus or Zenolidibus or something like that.
Zenolidibus, yeah.
Or Zolidibus, yeah. That's like, I prefer that and then Xenos and you're done.
Mm-hmm.
But, El Xenos is Spanish for the Xenos. Not saying El Xenos. El Xenos. Xenos 1 and Xenos 2, just like Shadowbringer, just like Stormblood and Stormblood 2.
Yeah, there you go.
Please stop calling Shadowbringers SB2. Please just call it SHB. Please. I'm begging you. So now that we know for certain we're going to the first, looking back at the rest of the trailer, do we think there's any body shenanigans going on with the characters? Like Yorion J, Ishtola, Thancred. Do you think there's any body shenanigans going on with those?
I mean, with Y'shtola, we still know that she's got the issue with her eyes, and that traveling through the ether the first time is what caused that. Traveling through a second time would likely kill her if there wasn't some kind of, yeah. So maybe there's still a Matoya soul fusion with her. But I have no idea. No idea.
Sly, what's your weigh in on the alternate version theory? I think no. I don't think there's alternate versions of that.
I agree. Like,
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, if we have to travel to the first, I don't think there would be like any after effects or anything that would alter the way we look. Like, we would just have our own fucking bodies. Nothing would happen. Like Ethys says with Y'shtola, it's a different matter entirely. That's what I'm calling her now, Y'shtola. Because
Y'shtola. I mean, it rolls off the tongue. I'll take it. Y'shtola.
Yeah.
It's better than Mashtola.
Yeah.
It's like mashed potatoes. Yeah, I'm in the boat that there's not the things that would have to happen for anyone other than another warrior of light to exist on another shard. It would have meant that since the source, everything led up to the birth of that individual was still accurate enough to get you to the point where there's an alternate version of them.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going into tricky territory when you're talking about alternate versions, universes, time travel, yada yada yada. I don't think it's that deep.
I don't think it's that deep. I don't think there's any time travel. I don't think there's any alternate versions. I think it's just two different shards. They're the same people. Maybe some shenanigans have gone on with who's actually piloting, but that's about it for me.
Yeah, I think we can't like overstate the whole parallel aspect of it. It's like the way we got to think of it. We're just going to another planet. The origins of that planet were that it split from the same chunk of, metaphysical bullshit that our one did, but it's a different planet.
But as a different planet, it still has enough to have all of at least the same enlightened races, as we tend to call them here.
Mm.
But they are somewhat different, as we also learned during the opening keynote. In that they have alternate names and and they have different cultures over there that aren't quite the same as the ones we have over here.
No, not quite.
No, we have we're the Hears and they're the Humes, I think, which is is an obvious reference to a certain other Final Fantasy. We have Elzen; they're just elves. Makes sense, right?
Yeah.
It's got all the classic fantasy. It's got the Humes, it's got the elves, it's got the dwarves.
Kind of.
So
kinda.
Ethys, good news. They did not go with the goblin-esque design of Final Fantasies 1 and 9 for dwarves.
Yeah,
As
and
much
the
as I
dwarves
wanted
are
them to, as much as I wanted them to, because it would upset you, they didn't. They went with the Final Fantasy 4 design. Good design.
Yeah. But
they're never without their helmets, and they are never without their beards.
So the females have beards too, right?
Yes, I mean that's pretty normal. I think in like fantasy, all dwarves usually have beards, females and males. I think that's pretty normal for like a fantasy realm style thing.
Yeah. But it seems the beards are attached to the helmets.
Well, it only looked that way when they showed us. They revealed to us that the dwarves are Lalafels. They are the first equivalent of Lalafels.
With Lalafell size-centric housing.
Yo, y'all complaining about not getting new housing. My character's fine. Fuck y'all. I'm good. Just gonna hang out. I was like, hey, look, this is my new house. Look at my friends here. Y'all won't be able to get through the door.
I wanted playable dwarves because Lalafels are
You have playable dwarves.
Dwarfy. Yeah, right. I've had playable dwarves all this time. That's right. Just ones that literally can't grow hair on their chins.
Yeah. And they can over there.
No, they can't. That's just attached to the helmet. It's just like a cloth thing. It's not real.
How do you know that? They didn't say it's not real. They just took the helmet off.
You look at it, it's not real. You look at it, it is.
Don't ruin my immersion, goddammit.
It's not real. So, like, I'd be okay if they would. Okay, give us some more like facial options for Lalafels. Let us have like big meaty beards for our Lalafels. They're not doing that.
Maybe.
No.
I mean, we saw the Warrior of Light in all the trailers has the stubble. Maybe we get dwarf beards.
No, well, that would be nice.
But only Lalafels get dwarf beards. Obviously, who else could wear them?
I'd be fine with that. Yeah, I'd be fine with that.
And that's a lot of people would not be fine with that. I mean, people would not be fine with only Lalafels getting beards. But
yeah, all right.
Let's be honest, though. We'll have the helmets and the beards by the end of the expansion because they're a beast race, and they always give us the glam of the beast tribes.
Yeah, that's true. I just hope that we can separate them because the helmets are
No, it won't happen. If you want one, you got.
You don't like the helmets? You don't like the helmets, Ethys?
Nah, I don't like the helmets.
And that's a big question. So why does the Lalafell that's actually from the first not have a beard? So don't say because she didn't have the helmet on.
Well, she might not have been a dwarf. I mean,
they gave up their body when they came here. Yeah.
I just think it would be I just have this idea that like Elizabeth kidnapped all these bodies for them and everyone was just like, all right, dibs the hero, dibs the Ellison, and she was just the last one to call dibs.
What's it called? Yeah, so they said Lamami would be explained. I'm just going to assume that because they couldn't bring their body. Literally, the rule says they had to give up their earthly bodies to come to the source. That was just the bodies that they had when they came here. They didn't keep their OGs. They just got these when they got here.
Yeah, she was probably some beautiful Ellison with long flowing hair and just got the short straw, literally.
I'm all right. I'm saying it probably was a dwarf in the first place. Maybe not.
Nah.
Keep that open.
Nah.
All right, fine. Ethys, fine. All I know is we've now seen 3 beast tribes. And only 1 primal between them.
Yep. That is my issue. That is one of my biggest fucking issues.
Is it really an issue? I'm just curious as to why.
It's an issue. Well, it's an issue for me because of the lack of information. In past, when we were in past FanFest, when we were giving a primal, when we were giving a beast tribe, we were giving a primal associated with that beast tribe. Why are they leaving this information out? Why is it so pertinent that we don't know?
Because we're probably not fighting other primals. We got all the Sin Eaters to fight.
But really, 1 primal and it's only Titania? That seems a little bit off.
Yeah, maybe.
if they're saying that, at least the pixies have a primal, then primals pretty much work the same way on the source as they do on the first. So
the first isn't like the source right now, though. The first is kind of fucked up.
We don't know for sure that Ilmeg is on the first, do we?
It's on the first. Have you seen that fucking place? It's on
no, it's totally on the first. But I'm just saying, like, we don't know for certain that this is a primal that appears on the first.
Now I was gonna bring this up, chat, to make sure to bring it up. Innocence is shown in the opening keynote as an antagonist.
Our foil.
What?
Our foil. Our main foil.
Yes, one of our main foils. I suppose. However, if I'm not mistaken, the press site specifically lists her as it does list her straight up as new primal. So,
and she's not, but she's going to be performing the same role.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if she's like our Thornton and our Ultima weapon.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking she is exactly our Thornton.
If she was, they probably wouldn't have
I feel like they wouldn't have told us that. It's more likely that there's something, because here's the thing. They showed Innocence right after showing the Sin Eaters. And that's why they needed to establish her as a main threat. It's possible it's a primal that we don't necessarily, I guess, fight. And it's just like a culmination of the light ether given form. But that's the thing. Like, it says new primal on the site, but the only relation we can draw is Sin Eater. So unless Innocence is someone we're gonna fight as like the level 57 quest line, or they're gonna be like the main antagonist that like is actually trying to cause the flood of light, and thus is more like a 5.3 patch encounter that we're just kind of setting. I know, like how Nidhogg we set up for that. Like we knew about Nidhogg long in advance.
I think it's more likely that she's like one of many.
Yeah, that's possible. That's possible as well. It's just weird to me that we have all these primals or all these beastmen, and we've heard so little about primals when we're really looking for more information about stuff.
Well, I mean, how many primals are you going to be able to summon on the first at the moment? There's barely any fucking ether left.
Just take some of the light ether. It'll be fine. Just grab some of that out of the side. Just be like, hold on. If we use it to summon things, maybe that upsets the balance. You know?
No, maybe. But I mean, that's an explanation, right? It's like, well, you need crystals and all that to summon primals, and where are you going to get those from?
Just steal. Just literally go to the light, like where it ends. Just be like, hey.
Come on.
So you're thinking that Innocence is like part of a bigger, like, I wouldn't say organization, but something akin to maybe the Heaven's Ward or something like that?
No, I think it's more so.
Sin Eaters of Void Sent. They're like the light equivalent of Void Sent, right? And in the same way that we have a lot of like, major Void Sent, really, really powerful Void Sent, I think the Innocence is probably just going to be one of the primary, the strongest, the more powerful of the Sin Eaters. And I don't know, maybe even they're going to be named after, various virtues, right? Maybe we're going to get innocence, maybe we're going to get chastity, and maybe we're going to get, charity. Like maybe there'll be this whole line of Sin Eaters, and maybe that's going to be like how we stop the flood of light is by going and defeating each of the, the culminations, the coagulations of this light ether.
Now, are all these virtue Sin Eaters going to have stripper names? Because you just named like
all strippers have virtues. It's either virtues or
Hell
booze.
Yeah. Hell yeah,
chastity, charity.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's right. Yep. Crystal.
Well, her name is Crystal, like the champagne.
Sorry. Yeah.
Get it right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, and that's the other question, because like Innocence is listed as a primal. Diablos, we've talked about how he's an outright. At least the dog stopped barking. Jesus. Like Diablos, we've always just established as a Void Sent, and we've had what Void Sent are established to us by Unakalhai. He describes what created Void Sents in the first place. So is it possible that something similar created Innocence in the same way that Diablos was created?
Speaking of which, Unokai, are we going to revisit that too?
Go talk to him.
Yeah, go talk to him. He's got new dialogue.
He's got new dialogue.
I don't think he's coming with us. I wish he would.
We'll see about that.
That's another theory I've been hearing regarding the dude in the Crystal Tower, that it could just be like the first Unokai hype. It's just someone with the Echo, like a new character with the Echo that could have been a Warrior of Darkness but isn't old enough or powerful enough.
If he's powerful enough to get us to fucking teleport to another dimension, I
mean, it's fucking him up. Like, I imagine like anyone with the Echo could probably do that.
I'm gonna give that guy that we don't know more credit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a little more credit than that.
Well, if you're gonna give him more credit, why isn't he out there doing something to stop the flood of light? Why does he need us if he's such a badass?
Because he needs to be responsible for that, and there's nobody else to do it. He's not just bringing us; he's bringing a bunch of other people too.
Mm-hmm.
He needs a platoon of Echo users, or not even Echo users, because we're the only
not
one.
even.
We're the only Echo
we're the
users.
only one. No.
The Echo user and friends. There you go. Literally all the Echo users other than us are just like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't heard anything. I don't know what's going on. It's just they keep disappearing. I don't know what it is. I mean, we do have another way to get to the first, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. There is one other way we've discovered to get to the first, a third way that will probably go unexplored for obvious reasons. Yeah, the dude's crystallizing. He's sick.
Yeah. Because of what he's doing. Maybe.
It's possible. What else was there in the opening keynote? I feel like we got the obvious. How the fuck did we miss this? Dancer.
Mm-hmm.
We got the reveal.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, there's one of the two biggest things, of the things we haven't brought up yet. Dancer is not a healer, which I think is fine. And by the way, anyone who says it was a healer in 11, you're wrong. But I'll explain that in another video. All right. It could heal, but it wasn't a healer. But people were still pretty shocked that we weren't getting a tank and a healer this expansion. What's your take on it?
I mean, if it was a healer, I would have leveled it up and probably not played it much. As a DPS, I think a lot more people are going to play it. I mean,
of course they will. More people play DPS.
Yeah. All the other explanations aside, like everything that Yoshida said in your interview and all that makes perfect sense with the balancing and all that. That's fine. But a new expansion, you want a new job that's going to bring in returning players or new players, something that like a majority of people are going to try out. You kind of need a DPS, right? You kind of need a new DPS because that's what the majority of people play.
But in regards to the whole healer thing, I'm going to play devil's advocate here because I'm not mad that there's no healer. I'm a little bit disappointed, but
I wish it was a healer, but I'm not mad.
Not mad. No. Not having another healer is definitely going to make things get a little stale in terms of healing. That's probably going to be the only real issue. It's not even a big issue, but I don't know how stale it's going to be with the battle changes and what they're going to do to healers, but even still, like two expansions, no healer, unless they, and this is in the back of my mind, which is very unlikely, but unless they're going to introduce a new healer within the expansion,
I'll be like limited healers.
No, not a limited healer. God, no.
That's what you're asking for right now if you get it in the middle.
I mean, but then again, we got Ninja at like 2.4, didn't we?
Ninja was supposed to be 2.0 and it was late.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking.
Is healing really that stale? Because I've been maining Dragoon since like mid 2013 and it hasn't gotten stale. if like the healer overhaul is what it needs to be and what it shouldn't be feeling stale. It should be feeling like really fresh. And healers, hopefully, should be really, really happy.
Mm-hmm.
They just need to wait. That's it. Just need to wait.
What I think is likely to happen is I think they're going to make it so all the healers they're gonna go with the DPS design philosophy, and that your goal is this one thing, and how you get there is how we define the job.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that they should all be able to handle any situation without needing a different one.
Mm-hmm.
Theoretically. But then how they achieve that power and how they then identify is different. Meaning, I would expect white mages to get access to more shielding in the expansion. And for them to find another way to more strongly identify. Maybe the fairy, maybe the astro cards, maybe white mage gets some geomancy type skills and develops a little bit of an identity on that front, since we know it has relations to conjuring.
I was a little bit worried about hearing this, that they were planning on like breaking the kind of, shielding and healing dichotomy. I just really hope that it doesn't make them feel more homogenous.
I mean, I look at the DPS now and how different I feel playing the different DPS.
Yeah.
One might argue they're homogenous. I'd say play-wise, I'd never feel that way.
Right. And that's the thing. And that's one thing I think they really nailed with the DPS and Stormblood, is that they made them all like quite balanced and quite, replaceable with one another. But at the same time, they all feel really different, and they feel, if anything, less homogenous than they did before. I'm just wondering how effective this is going to be for the healers.
Well, that's the big question. There was also a statement Yoshi P made about making white mage easier that I feel has gone terribly misconstrued, because I don't think how people recognize ease of play versus quality of life. A big thing with white mage right now is it's got terrible clipping issues, because it doesn't have that many instant casts. It has a ton of OGCDs, and it doesn't have shorter cast times. So that alone, changing that falls under white mage easier, and would honestly fit the bill perfectly. So I'm going to be watching the healer balance more than any other jobs. I'll tell you that much in the expansion. Because I think it's more important than the two new jobs.
Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a million times more important than the other new jobs. That was one of those pretty hot topics, was Dancer. And you know what I thought when I saw it? I'll go back to range for that.
Right,
yeah. I was kind of thinking the same thing. I was like, yeah, I'll give that a go. That looks like fun.
Yeah. It's also worth mentioning we did get two new healers since the game relaunched. Gotta remember, Scholar was new to Final Fantasy XIV.
True.
Well, Ranged have gotten only one new one. So, yeah, that's going to be... It's all about that healer balance. I don't know about you guys. I don't know if you guys are going to give Dancer a try and raid. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, I'm willing to give it a shot. I mean, I'm going to wait until we see a little bit more of it, but it looks like a lot of fun. It looks really cool. They said throwing weapons. Okay.
They did clarify that's not just chakrams.
They did clarify that's not just chakrams. Ergo, give me boomerangs or give me death. All right.
You're going to go full Australian Dancer?
Give me boomerangs. I'm already working on like an Aussie, like Bogan Dancer cosplay. All right. Give me boomerangs or give me death. Okay.
Boomerangs. All right. Well, is it weird that I want that? It's like I don't want boomerangs now.
Why would you not want boomerangs? You racist.
I want that sentence in isolation is.
See, that's the other one that I can use, is that I can just claim that not having boomerangs is racist. In the same way that
a chakram is a boomerang. You know that, right? Like that's the whole point.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
It's not. It's not.
It's not shaped like a boomerang.
It's not a boomerang.
Same properties.
What properties?
It comes back to you when you throw
Oh, that's the only property of a boomerang? That's all a boomerang is to you?
Yes.
Huh?
What is a boomerang to you, Ethys?
Ignorant Americans. It's
the Batarang's not shaped like a boomerang, but it comes back to Batman.
It's not a boomerang, it's a Batarang.
Why are we having this conversation? Oh my god.
All right. Give me boomerangs.
What's a boomerang to you, Ethys?
What is a boomerang to me? A boomerang is the very height of elegance and sophistication. Okay.
Like fat male Makotes, right?
Yeah. Fine. Sure. Why not? I just really want boomerangs. Okay.
That means a ball gown really want boomerang.
What?
Yeah,
sure. All right. Why not?
A Ferrari is now also a boomerang.
No, a boomerang is a Ferrari of throwing weapons.
The Ferrari is the boomerang of cars, then?
Yeah, the Ferrari is the boomerang of cars. That's right. There you go.
Sly's just like trying to decide what alcohol he's gonna poison himself with at this point.
I just really want him. There's no reason why not.
You'll get them. I have no doubt you'll get them.
Mm-hmm.
So that was controversial topic number 1. And Ethys, oddly enough, I feel like you've been prepared for controversial topic number 2 based on your attire.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So no male bunnies. So take them off. They don't exist.
All right. Okay. Fine. Hang on. I'll take them off. Just give me a second.
So you got a cat mask now?
Cat ears.
I hope he's got cat ears somewhere in there.
Cat ears.
Please. Yep. Well, it's not. I'm more curious why he has these things. And why does he just have them? That's for those listening on audio only. He has a cat mask. At this point,
it's not a cat mask.
I'm sorry, it's not a tiger mask.
It's Hrothgar.
It's not a tiger
Ignoramus.
mask. It's Hrothgar. I mean, if we're just gonna wear masks, I've got my dwarf mask. There you go. Because I've got a beard, so she's a dwarf. See?
Oh shit, you're right.
Yeah. I made her a dwarf. That? Wow. It makes perfect sense.
Wow. How about that?
This image is terrifying. Slyh, what kind of masks do you have? Oh, you got a persona mask?
I'm not breaking that shit out, no.
And you can be the blue mage. Look, we're the holy trifecta of controversial topics.
I can't see through this.
You get a blue mage mask, he gets a Hrothgar one, and I get a dwarf one. There you go. So yeah, as a reminder, back about a month and a half ago, the French client had an accidental leak that named another race called Hrothgar.
Mm-hmm.
To which we've said, well, it was clearly cut or leaked. It's one of the two. It exists in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Can't deny that. And we got the answer that it was indeed another race that's going to become available in Shadowbringers of cat men. Ethys apparently
and dog men.
Thundercats.
Apparently, there's a more like canine face option for it.
Ethys, I believe you said it best.
Yes,
they aren't cat boys; they're cat men. There you go. They're basically bulkier, more lion-esque playable race.
Right. So Thundercats.
The Thundercats, yes. That came with what I thought was not a possibility before this weekend. I said 100%, 100, that we get male Viera. I got the 0 right.
You got both zeros right.
I got both zeros. See, I'm technically 2 for 3.
There you go.
I'm technically 2 for 3. I
good.
had one guess at 0%. Yeah, see, you guys just weren't paying attention. Hrothgar are male only. Viera are female only.
You mad or nah?
I don't give a shit. But that's because I wasn't planning on race changing. It's the same thing with Dancer. Like, I wasn't planning on playing a new job, technically, but now I am. Doesn't mean I'm not very surprised and understand why people would be upset. I just don't care.
I understand people being upset.
Totally
I
do.
It. What I don't understand is the conflation with Yoshida being misogynistic or
dude, I don't even want to talk about those forum threads. Those things just I've never wanted to rip my eyeballs out of my eyes as much as reading those threads.
Mm-hmm.
Like, legitimately just bleach my eyes.
Yeah, it's real bad.
You know that scene in the trailer where everything's on fire with Y'shtola and Ryanje?
That's the forums right now.
Yeah. That's Reddit. That's the forums. That's everything. We're just gonna wait on the warrior.
So imagine Ryanje sitting at his PC in front of the forums, just being like, "Doth we embrace his fate,
or deny it?"
No.
Y'shtola.
Now,
until Valefar return, I will hold the line.
Now, with this, I wanna take you back to a interview from 2013 where Yoshi P gets asked this exact question on the subject. In terms of new races, what kind of races are you looking into, and will mixed races be introduced?
Wait, all the way back in 2013, we had mixed race questions?
Yeah, this is from February of 2013.
I don't think we'll have mixed races for a while.
The game wasn't even out yet. You just realized that.
Seems like Viera is popular around the world, and we've been proactively looking into this. But since having a rabbit male might be kind of weird, maybe we'll look into having a separate race for the male counterpart. You've had this answer all these years. You got all these seasonings, and you still choose to be salty.
I like that. I like that. I like that saying. You got all these seasonings, and you choose to be salty. And keep in mind, this is the same Yoshi P who had just said, like, before the game had relaunched, why we were getting male Makote and female Rogadins. But said that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't accept the reasoning. They could have just made male and female Viera and not done the Rogade, the Ronsos, like, at all. But it's fine. Like, it's just not that big a deal, is it?
Not particularly.
Problems.
It's fine. Like, it's okay. And you know what? If you want male Viera, submit feedback, make petitions, leave out the vitriol, because no one's gonna take that seriously. If you like petition Yoshida by calling him, names, then obviously that's not no one's going to take that seriously. But if you submit feedback and it seems like everyone wants male Viera, I'm sure they'll do their best to meet those needs,
I like someone's comment here. What if they had just given Hrothgar bunny ears and said they were male? Would people be as upset?
Would people have accepted
Probably
that?
Even worse.
I think people probably would have accepted that. People would have been like, all right.
No, I don't think they would.
That's weird, but all right.
No.
Yeah, I mean, people might be upset that they did the same thing with Aura, the bulky men and the more quaint females. Maybe that, but they would have had it. Wouldn't have been as bad. It wouldn't have been
wish
their
they'd stop.
version.
I wish they'd stop making excuses, and because it's just like inflammatory when you talk about the law and like, oh well, in the law there's like hardly any male bunnies. But again, it's the same with Mikote. It's just like, well, we just didn't. Just say it. We just didn't do it. We didn't have the resources. We didn't do it. We decided internally to do it this way, and that's the way we're doing it.
And that was what I was going to bring up too. Would there be an instance where you would accept a lore explanation for, something like something affecting, something within the realm of gameplay. And
wait, Sly, hold on. I couldn't hear you. I got to go to the near raid right now.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's the thing. I gotta go to the near raid on my flying void sent fat cat. Like
no, on the regalia.
On the regalia, yeah, sure. Yeah, I would accept that. The thing is, we're adventurers, like the Warrior of Light. We come from all different walks of light. It's no more weird to see like my character as a Duskwite, running around in the open outside of the caves than it would be to see a male Viera. And again, like everyone and their grandma playing a male Mikote. There's again so few of them, like canonically. It doesn't fucking matter. Like when it comes to I guess like gameplay and mechanics and things that the player want, and then lore, the former has always got to take priority, and the lore just has to yield. Just has to yield to it. You need to find a way to explain around it.
I like this one. They didn't even have to add new races. People getting worked up over free chicken. Like that in the Twitch chat. They could have just not added races.
True as well. Yeah, they could have just not done it.
Now, I had the opportunity to interview Yoshida, and while we're not going to go over the whole interview here, that was the first question I asked, was about the racial thing. From my interpretation of the answer, not what he said, my interpretation of the answer, it sounded like the dev team wanted to meet the demand of a more beast-like race in the form of the Hrothgar, which I've seen plenty of. I just thought they'd go with Lupin if they ever did it.
So this demand isn't imagined. Right. We need to establish that first, is that there is a demand. Like I've been seeing in my Twitch chat, lots of people wanting to play, like you say, Lupin particularly. But I mean, I'm over here like, we've already got a bunch of furry races already. Why are we need another furry? But the demand is real. People have been asking for it. So that's the first thing we need to establish, that Yoshida's not bullshitting, because a lot of people have been saying that as well. Like, oh, what demand? You're just making that up as an excuse. No, there's been demands. There's been plenty of it.
Sly, would you like to say something?
Yeah. No, I was just saying them. Hi.
Oh, he wanted him. You going Hrothgar, Sly? You changing to Hrothgar?
No. I just called for Ronso for years.
Oh, like, yeah, you did do that.
Yeah. What if we had Ronso would be nice in 14. And what about
that? And then from my interpretation, they wanted to do that, but they also literally were like, we can't avoid doing Viera, can we?
No.
We literally
so they made a compromise.
We made a compromise. So it seemed like no matter how you look, if you look back to 2013, they had the consideration of doing the female Viera and then doing a male counterpart that was separate. You look a little bit further, they want to do this lion-esque race, but they know they can't not do female. They can't not add Viera at this point. If they're going to stop doing races, they're like, we kind of have to do this, don't we? And that was the compromise, was one gender of each. Now, I'm curious what the lore is going to be on Hrothgar, that I guess, because at this point we do have lore to support, somewhat for male Viera. It's not important necessarily, but at this point, since we can't play as them, we, can consider it, I guess, an important for now while they're unplayable. So on the other side, I'd imagine there's something established for female Hrothgar that will at least allude to like they exist, but this is why, yada yada.
Maybe they just look exactly the same as Mikotes.
No. Come on, you seen a female Ronso? They look dope as hell.
Yeah, they do, but I don't know. Who knows?
But it's just, they said they'll consider it for later, but they don't want to say anything for certain right now. They're not going to be like, yes, we will do the other genders. They're like, I won't say no, but I don't want to get hopes high. He's like, I don't want to set expectations high, were his choice of words.
I'm kind of expecting that the Hrothgar will be similar to the Hell's Guard, where just like we won't see their home, we won't see where they're from, and there won't be that many NPCs of them. It's just like all the NPCs will be male, and they probably won't explain it.
Yeah, because that's if they add NPCs and there's female NPCs, there's going to be
a riot.
There's going to be a riot. Yeah, so you're probably right about that. Yeah. So I'm not bothered by any of this. I think some people blow it way out of proportions. I don't know. It's just for me, I have a hard time. I understand people being like, oh, damn it, come on, I really would have wanted that. But not the childish clamorings of the internet that I've seen.
Yeah, it's real bad.
There are some people that have kept it pretty level-headed about why, but there are some people that have just taken it to a level.
I'm glad.
There are some people that have taken it to a level where I actually don't feel bad for those specific individuals.
No.
It's a tough spot to be, man. It's a real tough spot to be. And for me, actually, the Hrothgar had a harder time believing not having female, personally. Because they're called Rontos on the first, and there's female Rontos in 10. That to me is a way more level-headed thing to say than what the male Viera stuff that's been going on. So that's more confusing to me than the other way around.
Well, I think that's why they should just never have tried to give like a lore excuse. No, I mean they should never have said like, oh, we're not getting male Viera because of lore reasons, because people grab onto that because it's not a good reason, it's not a good excuse, and people kind of forget about all the other explanations that have been made.
I don't think people would have been happy with a development excuse either.
Oh no, no one's ever played. I saw people who are like, dude, I mod armor onto games. It's not that hard to make them fit. And I'm like, modding armor.
Yeah, we're talking about tens of thousands of pieces, as well as they made the point. Yeah, I think that people wouldn't accept any kind of excuse, but I'm just saying that like a development explanation is a little harder to make a straw man out of than the lore explanation that we got. Is just so easily contradicted, again, by looking at Goetia.
You know what's going to end up happening when the expansion comes out? Everyone's just going to shut their fucking mouths and either race change or not. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then just make sure to be like, occasionally, hey guys, remember, we still want male Viera and female Hrothgar, so be sure to not forget to say it. That's how it always happens.
Yeah, it's a constant cycle. We go through this every expansion of rage over, oh, this job doesn't have this job fucking sucks. And 2 patches later, maybe 1.5, it just dies down. So that's what I'm expecting. Like all the petitions and everything. And if you still want a petition, fine. Like, I understand you're mad about, gender lock races.
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead. I'll support
voice your opinion. Yeah, voice your opinion. That's fine. But I still don't think all that outrage is going to be here 2, maybe 3 patches later. Like, I think
I give it a month after the fucking expansion is out.
Yeah.
I mean, no, because like a month after the expansion out, we're still complaining shit's broken. That's part of the cycle too. Like, oh God, Dancer, why the fuck does Dancer suck? When are we going to get that patch? It's part of the cycle too. So it's just this constant cycle of outrage we go through every expansion that we just have to let die down. Time heals all wounds.
Time does heal wounds. And I'm not wounded, so I'm fucking healed already. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll just support the people who are wounded as long as they can, No. It's weird how you went from being male Bunny to female Hrothgar with the other mask.
No. Wait. Ultimate marriage. Put the mask on too. I want to see a Viera heart.
Oh no, you're opening a door. No, that's another door that we don't want to open. We don't need to open the hybrid race door again. We don't need to
I literally threw the mask across the room. It's not.
God damn it.
All right.
Oh, we don't want to open that gate. The mixed race gate. All right, so before we go any further to talk about the live letter for about 30 seconds and then talk about 4.56, we got to thank our sponsors over on Le Patreon. So for those who don't know, we do have a Patreon page where we support people through #demonetized. And Ethys finds the reason why we've had demonetizations in the past, he finds them generally entertaining from my experience. Yeah, he's Yeah. I mean, dude, male Viagra. Will we get male Viagra? We know now. The answer is no.
No,
that's just
no
the
such
truth.
thing.
No, there's no such thing as male Viagra, is what we've learned at this point,
God.
according to YouTube's algorithms, at least. All right. So we got to thank our sponsors over on the Patreon through hashtagging through. God. Hashtag demonetized sponsor. See, this is where the jet lag is in this sentence. All the jet lag I don't have is in this sentence.
I believe you in Rap God. Go ahead.
I couldn't even say one sentence. First of all, I got to thank Khuja Cross and Kurenai Oni, our two patrons of light, who have gone above and beyond with their support, and will soon be patrons of darkness, to be fair. So we will change that when we actually get to Shadowbringers. That's Khuja's image right there, and then for some reason it closed the other possibility. There we go. And we have Kurenai's, who he is taking on the new Yojimbo trial, which we'll talk about here in a little bit, which was good fun. Slyh and I beat it back in November. Glad everyone else got to experience.
Picture with him.
I did get the picture with the Yojimbo sign at the JP Fan Fest. So thank you for supporting both of you as being patrons of light. I haven't even started. What are you doing?
Blame me for this shit every week, and I do nothing.
I literally haven't even started yet. And Ethys has picked a different emote now. He's even PogChamp. Oh no, that's Aqua. It's just used. No, you did it too.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right.
We have to thank our other patrons. All right, we got to do it. Okay, and now you're making me regret that decision. All right, we have our standard State of the Realm sponsors. We got Scumlord, Itsumi Amarillo of Gilgamesh, Ravik, Carjackets from Famfrit, Sigurd Drake from Balmung, Edge Fair on Ultros, Jerica Emma, Zeranik of Org 13, Chris Uzuki, Crazy Meter from Midgar, Raijin Ventus from Cactar Carol, Ray Senchi, Shadowlink on Tom Perry, Dama Sukawake from Jenova, Limilla Nelhah of Mikard Sarma, Serren the Fennel family, Janhyua Yotsuyu, Kifca and the Great Eagles on Exodus. To you, it's just like the words just didn't feel like they were coming out of my mouth properly. Aoshi from Kujata, Skia Symphonia from Ragnarok, Rylanator Westaus The Purple Warrior, Eadric Redsteele on Exodus, Lexxie Valentine, Mantaru the Rivivus FC from Zodiark, Sour Cream and Tribes from Jenova, Rynoet Chikara. Stop making sounds! Goetia Valefar of Siren, Phoenix Down on Goblin, and Serren from Zodiark. We have our elite. What am I playing DDR right now? You're on fire! We have our elite State of the Realm sponsors as well. Vapachama of Diablo. Ethys, you know what? You're not allowed to win one of these. All right, don't enter. You're not allowed to win. Okay. We have Vapachama from Diablo, Shadow Aria of Brynhilder, Zeraviah of Corel, Alchemy, Shinka, Casual Heroes FC on Midgard Summon, Tatachitaka on Hyperion, Kanezuki from Jenova, Ustarla on Corel, Sathal, Sarah Frost from Behemoth, Holy Tabasco, Crass 015, Serenity FC on Ultros, Kakazuma, Ignis Fragon from Excalibur, Velustra from Fanfrit, Not Quarters from Excalibur, Corvus Moonsguard, Private Mikey, Nana Kusame, Rudy Rudiger, Kill Hackman, Roll Jr., and Kiltastic Jones. Thank you.
Woo! Yeah!
Thank you, Smoking sexy style.
Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you. Love you. Love you all.
Bro, I just got to continue the show after that still. Kid.
Fucking legends.
Yeah. Jesus
fucking Christ.
I'm sorry for being in.
God damn it, Ethys.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, fuck.
Anyway, that was the opening keynote.
Yeah, about that live letter.
Did we miss anything in the opening keynote? I think we got everything. The new zones, Lakeland, Dancer, Hrothgar, Viera. The trailer. I think we got everything. Eden.
Yeah.
No, we did.
Eden.
Oh, yeah, Eden.
Eden, right. I mean, we didn't really hear too much about Eden, so I guess there's not really a whole lot to say, but I will say this looks a little too closely affiliated to the main story for me to not make mention of that. And Yoshi wouldn't answer me on that, obviously. He wasn't going to say it's part of the main story, but...
My main question is, what's your interpretation of what Eden will be? The thing is, again, I go back to the past, 8-mans, it's pretty obvious what we're dealing with. The Binding Coil of Bahamut, Alexander, Omega.
I mean, Eden is a summon in 8. And honestly, that looks like the garden from the beginning of 8 or the giant field of flowers, but with no life.
That's where you're going with it?
I mean, from the way they described it, the point of Eden is to return the elements to the first. So, as the Warrior of Darkness, our goal is to bring specifically darkness back to the first. The point of Eden is to balance the other elements too: fire, earth, wind, lightning, water, and wind. So that's why I can't help but look at that and go, why did this looks really closely affiliated with the main story. Or ice, sorry, I said wind twice. And heart. No.
That's
so I don't know. Do you
think, planet?
Do you think that it's going to be closely tied? Not part of the main story. Do you think it'll at least be closely tied to it?
Obviously it is. I mean, the main scenario is going to be us halting the flood of light, preventing it from escalating further, and then this 8-man is going to be about pushing it back, right? So it's pretty direct connotation. I think we're either going to end up fighting more Sin Eaters for the raid, or else we're going to like hop between other shards, maybe to fight things of like a particular element, so that we can like take that ether and I guess redirect it to the first, maybe something like that.
Like through just the 8-man. So you're saying through the 8-man, we're already going to go to other shards besides the first?
Yeah, maybe. Why not?
Now, I have seen some suggestions that the 12 will be affiliated here, and to that I say, we don't even know if the 12 are worshipped on the first. The 12 are not beings that just exist, as far as we know. They're entities and deities that have been given various names and various worships across even just on our own shard. There's no guarantee that the 12 even exist in any capacity.
It would be very cool.
It would be. But I'm very much not on that. Now, Avelia's is interesting as well. All the calamities prior to Bahamut were all affiliated with elements. I'm wondering if there's some sort of connotation between the two.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I don't know about you, but I'm already more sold on this than Omega. It didn't take much for me to be sold on it more, but
yeah.
From my interview, Yoshida also specifically said that if they ever did want to do raids in the main scenario, they could just use we have normal modes. That's not him saying it will be, but I saw that and I'm like, so
that would be cool. I mean, there's no reason why they wouldn't, but it sort of would contradict the attitude of making like pretty much the rest of the MSQ soloable with the trust NPCs, and the fact that they're like moving in that direction. It would just seem like a little bit of a design contradiction, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it'd
be cool though. I wish they would. It would be awesome.
Well, how do you feel, Sly? Where are you on Eden's involvement with the main scenario?
I'm down. I mean, in 2.0, wasn't there a little bit kind of tied in with the main scenario? With
well, Bahamut was the conclusion of the 1.0 main scenario, pretty much.
Right. So yeah, I would definitely love to see the main scenario tied with an 8-man. It kind of gives it more of that coil feel, where back in the day, if you really wanted to see more story, you had to do it. Yeah, I'm down.
You down?
Yeah.
Again, I just like this high fantasy feel. So like I realized, to me, almost anything's gonna be better than Omega, at the very least. I'm really not a big fan of Omega's involvement in anything or the story behind it. I'm like so very not sold on it. It just,
I mean, at a time he was involved in the main story, but he kind of just left.
He's like, I beat this guy for you. You'll have to beat anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah.
See ya.
I liked Omega. The story's a little bit bare bones at points, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed all the stuff we learned about Midgard's armor and their history, and yeah,
right.
That was good.
So if I had to rate it, I would do Coil, Omega, Alexander. Like 1, 2, 3. First, second, third.
I have a feeling Eden's gonna be a lot better for me than Alexander and Omega. Alexander was good by the time it concluded, but it took until it concluded.
That was the problem.
Yeah, and for me, I was never satisfied with Omega. I was like, all right, well, that happened. Fuck it.
How are you more satisfied with Alexander than it?
Because Alexander fucking at least had a story. Omega's like, I just want to be strong, guys. Fight me.
Alexander, like you said, had a story at the end.
Yeah, but I mean, the end tied the whole story of Alexander together. Omega's doesn't in any way tie anything up other than the fucker's gone.
We got I felt like with Omega, we got tidbits within every tier of Omega. Whereas like everything came surging in at the end for Alexander.
What sums up all the Omega rate is it's a sad computer that wants to go home. I'm not like that. I'm not that attached to him or any of the bosses in there. Like they're nostalgic and fun to reimagine, and that's the end of it for me.
But the bosses in Alexander were kind of the same. They didn't really have any significance.
At least they were real.
Sure. I'll give you that one.
At least they were fucking real.
Yeah.
I just wasn't satisfied with anything by the end of Omega. I'm hoping I'm satisfied with Eden by the end like I was Alexander. So, yeah, at least they were original, the bosses, and the music we got with all of them.
Yeah, that's true.
That was hype as fuck. Fight me so I can go home. God damn it. Yeah, we learned that dragons came from the dragon. Like, we learned cool things, but I could have learned those without it being part of the raid series.
Oh, I felt so stupid when I was like, oh my god, dragons come from the dragon star. Holy shit.
Oh, man. Anyway, I hope Eden is closely tied to the story. That's all I want. I just want it to be closely tied.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Move it. Well, I feel like somebody was about to say something.
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know what I heard then. Then we have the live letter, which we can sum up in about 5 seconds. 14-15 collab April 16th.
And Dead of Light.
Dead of Light movie.
I mean, we don't even know if we're getting it, though, yet. We probably will, but we don't know if we're getting it.
Some way, somehow, we'll get it.
Because we have the TV drama on Netflix. We don't know if we're getting a movie.
Nah, we'll get it. We'll get it eventually.
And if we can't, some people will import it.
Yeah.
Man, the wind up for that, people got so salty.
Oh, let me just make it perfectly clear. Your sub money doesn't go to a movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's not how businesses work. I saw that complaint. I was like, wait, is our sub money paying for this movie?
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't know how motherfucking businesses work, all right?
In fact, what's going to happen is it's going to bring more people to 14, which means more budget for 14, which means more content for us. I mean, we got to remember as well that like the fan fests and the announcements that are made are like very specifically geared towards the physical audience that's there in that place. And having this huge wind up for something like that wouldn't have really impressed like an NA or EU audience, but it wasn't for an NA or EU audience, it was for the JP audience. And they were like pretty hype about it, it looked like they were pretty stoked. So, I mean, when I saw it, I was like, oh, there's going to be some mystery announcement. What are they going to, is it going to be like Geomance or are they going to do something like that? Like, I was disappointed. That was my first reaction. But then I was like, yeah, all right, no, the JP are into it. This is for them.
They do, yeah. And they said that at the EU one, that they tailor each of the fan fests to the audience.
Yeah, and that's just really important to remember, I think.
Yeah. I was there and everyone there was excited. I was there.
Yeah.
There were a lot of people who were really excited that there was going to be a movie.
15,000 people.
Yeah. That was a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
On top of that, we learned, that Xenos was coming to Dissidia, which I think is a probably the best 14 representative that they could have gone with. You could argue Gaius. I know that's what you're going to fucking say. You could argue Gaius. You could argue the Asians. Like, but I think Xenos has agency over the rest of them.
I was gonna say Daddylander, honestly, but all right.
Well, no. Well, no. Hildebrand would probably have more agency than Caius.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. He's also current, which is makes a lot of sense. If you put Godbird in, then you might as well just that's it. That's your last character.
Yeah.
We also had an interview with Oda-san, who is the world lore. He's in charge of the world lore and the main scenario quests. And he had some interesting things to say, but it's one of those things where like the special guests are kind of hard for us to, I guess, really appreciate as much. Especially, it just is. It just is harder. Even with the translation that was provided for that part of the live letter in general. It's just hard to really appreciate it as much with the language barrier. I don't know about you, if you feel the same way. I don't know if there's anything he said, Ethys, that got you like erect.
No, I think that's fair. I mean, I was already erect, so hard to say.
I get it. Hard to say. Oh, never mind. Yeah.
You're disgusting.
No, I'm not. Come on.
You're just as bad. Fuck.
Me?
Yeah.
I was just using the language that he was using. I'm just smelling what he's stepping in, all right? That's all I'm doing.
You weren't excited with the Aura horn showing affection?
No. I wasn't. No.
When are we getting that on Mod Station?
Let me check my notes. Was there anything interesting? I mean, the one good question was like Zodiark's resurrection. How bad exactly would it be? And it was like bad from a certain point of view.
Yeah, that was where they spoke about the morally gray. Okay. It's like the expansions going into the. It's exposing how morally gray.
Yeah,
everything is. Yeah.
As for, I mean, some of these questions were so dumb. Like, can you lost blame the duty finder? No, we can't. You don't.
Or your mounts, or your minions, or your chocobo companions. He's like, listen, exactly. Just imagine your chocobo's like hiding behind a tree nearby and waiting for you to pull out your Gasol grains.
Yeah. Why did we not get smashed in Gimlet? Because the Eorzeans are badass. They're fucking badass. All right. Why no baby Rose? Like,
that wasn't even a question for him. It was his question. He was just like, I really want baby Rose, but the Aura and Makote are stealing all of our resources.
Yeah, every time this happens, I'm just sitting here wondering like who selected the questions that I actually asked him.
It's probably whatever's most upvoted.
That's a shame.
That's a shame. It's a shame that people share that opinion, I guess.
Yeah.
You gotta remember, it's like, I mean...
That were not good questions.
Yeah, considering he's the world lore builder, it could have been much better questions.
Mm.
I mean, like, even then, it's not like you couldn't have really asked him much about anything new. You would have had to have asked him about stuff that was old, and that's what those questions are. But it was weird old things.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I was probably just the most upvoted.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm sure you could find out. Just go to the thing and see what the most upvoted. Like, I'm sure the thread is still there. It's locked, but I'm sure the thread is still there.
Probably
on the Japanese forums. At the very
least.
He'll
probably go through and answer some of the other questions as well. He normally does when they do stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
Or Koji will anyway.
15 Collab is limited time though. It's only 6 weeks. It's available. Apparently, it's not that hard. They were saying that it's not a terribly difficult event, so they're just like they're not going to keep it around permanently. It just kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. Too much, I suppose. Like. I kind of understand. Rathalos doesn't really stick out as much as one might think, considering what it is. And the Garo thing barely. I mean, no one goes to the Wolf's Den, so sorry.
No one even sees it.
Sorry, but it's pretty chewy. Yeah, Rathalos is just kind of stuffed into a corner. Oh, at this.
What?
Why?
What?
Yeah. Oh. We got confirmed world visit will be the same day as the North American data center expansion, April 23rd. Europe's is on April 2nd, and both of them come with 2-week free transfer periods for anyone on those respective data centers. EU gets EU, NA gets NA. So, yeah, that's pretty much all that came out of the live letter. But then we have patch 4.56.
Yes, we do.
So people are probably like, wow, you're an hour 40 into the show and you're just starting the 4.56. This might take a while.
Nah, probably not.
No, it won't.
I'll say it right now. And again, I warned people about spoiler cast that this is technically a spoiler cast at the beginning. If you've seen the trailer for 5.0, you pretty much know everything you need to know about 4.56.
You saw the patch.
It's pretty much, we play as Hien. He has 1 attack. And this is a samurai sword, by the way, in its hilt. So he does this. You do this for about 5 minutes. And then, dude, okay, I'm going to apologize to anyone in advance for saying this, but if you're failing the DPS check on Xenos,
Ruh-roh.
do you know how many people I've seen say they're failing it?
Really?
Huh? That's a thing?
Sorry.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, like, I know dying is probably a thing, but like, huh?
I don't have words. Honestly, I'll just say the real answer is you need to play better. So
Yeah, I'd say so.
That's all. That's literally all there is to it. If you're not killing the swords in time for any reason, that's all I have to say.
Do it again.
And I am strictly talking about the part you play as the player, not as Hien.
But okay, that.
So, just work on improving.
Wait, that's still a thing?
Google some guides, and you shouldn't have a problem. So, best of luck to you.
Yeah, again, you're talking about like when you get controlled, when the Warrior of Light is there.
Yes.
You have to fight Xenos.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a DPS check on the swords. He's like charging up an attack.
So,
okay.
just focus on improving. You got this.
Okay.
All right?
We believe in you.
This.
We believe in you.
I'm not releasing a guide on it. That's not happening. It's just not. So don't.
Oh, jeez.
Just focus on improving.
Oh, no.
You got this. You got this. Okay. So anyway, you literally beat him at the end. The mysterious man or the enigmatic hooded figure, that whatever they called him, tells you need to go to the first. He left a beacon for you at the foot of the Crystal Tower. And then you wake up and Emmerich is there looking at you like, hey, you're alive.
I was watching you sleep.
I was watching you sleep. And he tells you Stinian saved your dumbass.
Fuck yeah, he did.
Yeah,
About time he returned the favor.
Dude, he's literally just like that man's gonna be there looking over us forever. And I like that. I'm okay with that. And then you go back to the Rising Stones, and for some reason, this fucking person has way too many answers. Way too many answers. Dude, I'm telling you, that Ascian thing is coming true with her. She knows too much. She's like, well, obviously all of these things. And I'm like, what?
I mean, I was kind of disappointed that we didn't pick it up immediately. Like, our character wasn't like, oh, yeah, no, the first. Remember with Arbit and all that? We were, like, acting real stupid and acting real surprised.
She even made evil-looking clothes.
Okay.
She's just like, hey, you want to look like a warrior of darkness before you even become one? Here you go.
Yeah, she's seen the trailer. She's like, you're going to need this.
Dude, she's Emmett Selk. It's her. It's this one right here.
Oh, God.
It's all coming true.
Oh,
Since 2.0, there's been 2 theories. That Gaius was still alive and that Tataru was an Ascian. We're almost there. I'm telling you. And then you go to the Crystal Tower and it ends. You're done. That's it. You finish 4.56. You get one scene where fucking Varys is on some other shit right now.
That face, though.
That fucking face.
You thought Asahi's face was bad? Holy shit.
Oh boy.
I don't know if that's just him really being that way, or if there's a fucking Ascian in that body right now.
Nah, there's no Ascian.
If there was an Ascian, Xenos would have been like, I can fucking tell, asshole. Just talk to me.
No.
This motherfucker's just that crazy. He's like, we could start production on Black Rose.
Yeah, this is just about him planning on committing genocide. Basically.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. He's just way too into it.
What does he say? This war will not be decided by you and yours. Man must choose his own fate, and I, for my part, will do all within my power to see Garlemald emerge victorious. That's all he's about. Yeah.
I don't know, dude. I feel like Elidibus actually wants good shit, and he just thinks this is the only way to do it. And everyone else around him is just idiots. All the other Ascians are just fucking idiots. And he's just like, I am Zodiark's voice. You know how Minfilia is the voice of I'm the voice of the father, okay? I'm his emissary. Y'all are stupid. He even calls them stupid and impatient.
I mean, the voice of the mother's evidently pretty stupid as well. She's like, no, I'll go to the first. I got this.
To be fair, that was the case for Minfilia before Minfilia was word of the mother. So
yeah, and after she's just as stupid. In fact, she's even more stupid because she doesn't send us to do it. She's like, no, I'll do it myself. I'm over here like, Minfilia,
she wanted to help.
I'm like, Minfilia, you know that's not how this works. You wait at the Waking Sands. You tell me to go and do it. All right. But no, you're going to wait for an expansion and a half until it's a fucking mess. All right. She didn't even admit to us. We're going to get her and she's going to be like, no, I had it sorted. It's fine.
She wanted to help. She wanted to finally stop being
her. She's a trust, dude. We're going to have to play with her.
Look, Minfilia is great. She's Charles Xavier. You guys know that I know that you know that. But she just
pretty strong.
She should have just told us to, help her out.
Tell me out real quick, okay? Pray return to the first. No. I'm going, but not because you asked. Okay.
I'm really looking forward to hearing her making a Waking Sands joke.
She's going to say pray return to something. Pray return to the Crystarium. She's going to do it. And that's it. That's the whole main story. That did not need to take 3 months.
People are real mad about it. People are real mad.
Yeah. Usually with patches, people are kind of a little bit divisive when it comes to their opinions about the quality of the patch. It's just been one-sided. We could have gotten this shit in 4.5.
Yeah, but then we would have had this huge lull where everyone would have forgotten the story. It's important to keep up momentum. Yeah, but it's important to maintain momentum leading into the expansion, I think. The other thing, I've been asking people when people have been coming into my stream and being like, oh, don't you think the MSQ was shit? And I was like, I don't know, did you want more of it? People saying, yeah, obviously I wanted more of it. It's like, well, then it's not shit. You're just not satisfied. You just want more of it. You obviously enjoyed it. If you want more of it, you're not like, man, this is terrible. Why is the story going in this direction? Hell yeah, give me more. That's a good thing. That's the purpose of these part 2 patches. And sure, it didn't have as jaw-dropping a revelation as the equivalent in Heaven's Ward and ARR. But if we kind of shy away from making those comparisons, it was effective, right?
How are you gonna make me off screen not get to see Estinian versus Xenos, Elidibus Xenos? How are you gonna do that to me off screen?
That was kind of frustrating.
You gave me Omega and Shinryu. You couldn't have made the role playing event the Estinian part and not the Hien part. That upset me.
That's what I was thinking. I was like,
Like, when fucking Amaret comes in and says, yo, Estinian saved your ass, it should send you back to Estinian's part where he saves your ass.
That would be really cool. That would be really, really cool. Yeah, rather than getting a single little screenshot. That was a shame. But it was good. What we got was good. It was effective. It was titillating. It has us all excited for what comes next. Right?
My only issue is, like, we concluded the Dragon Song War. Within Stormblood, was there any story that kind of reached a conclusion?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we freed Alamigo and Doma. We resolved the whole Gosetsu and Yotsuyu storyline. The Omega and Shinryu thing. Like,
okay.
We wrapped up. But you're right that, like, it wasn't kind of concluded as a neatly, like, a chapter conclusion.
Right.
I mean, I was thinking, like, since we knew from the extended trailer that we were going to the first, I was like, all right, well, in 4.56, like, we've got to basically absolutely smash the Empire, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we're leaving that behind us for the time being. I'm disappointed that we didn't do that. I'm disappointed that Xenos is still alive in a way. Disappointed that we didn't get any sort of big moment like that. But I still enjoyed it. Like, it was still super hype for me.
And see, the things you mentioned, those don't seem like major storylines. They're just like small ones leading up to the major ones, like the Alamigo, the freedom of Alamigo, Doma, and the whole Garlean issue is one that's still going, and naturally we were going to visit that in 5.0, but apparently we're not, or apparently it might get revisited in smaller forms. Yeah, it's felt incomplete.
Yeah, I think it's got a lot to do with, like, the trailers and the talk that we've had, like, leading into Shadowbringers, is that we were expecting here either like a Black Rose attack or a Calamity or something like that. You know what I mean? And obviously, like, that's going to come in 5.0, but it's just like, just give it to me. Come on.
Everything after the liberation of Alamigo has been a stepping stone to 5.0. Is pretty much how I feel. And not 4.3 was the conclusion, and then 4.4 and 4.5 were really gearing up. Because 3.3 didn't really lead into 3.4 and 3.5. It did because of Nidhogg's Eye, but that was like a chapter closing 3.3, and then they let you know, and then this is the aftermath kind of thing. Whereas 4.3 didn't really feel like a chapter closing. It felt like a necessary step to get to the point where we are now.
I don't mind that, though. I don't think we necessarily need to tie everything up with a bow.
So I feel like some things we do, and some things kind of like we need that lead up. It just feels like there's a lot unanswered. Like,
yes,
not necessarily just straight up unanswered, but we just don't have any clue as to what's going on.
Well, that's the frustrating thing for me, is that there's a lot unanswered still on the source, and now we're putting that on the back burner and going to the source where there's going to be a whole bunch of new questions. And it's like, they've been trying so hard to wrap up all these old threads from 1.0 and ARR, and that's been super satisfying, over the last couple of expansions, getting that. But now they're just like opening so many new threads that we just feel kind of like lost and overwhelmed. And it's probably like a lot of these threads are not going to be wrapped up for another couple of expansions, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the way it goes.
And chat said it better. I mean, 4.1 ties up Alamigo, 4.3 ties up Doma. Pretty much is the way that it kind of got handled. And I said, I think 4.1 through 4.4 were some of the best not main expansion story quests we've ever gotten. Especially 4.1. 4.1, like the Alamigo wrap up was leagues better than 3.1 and 2.1, at least directly comparing. But 4.5 definitely didn't have any of the the bells or whistles that 2.5 or 3.5 had. We didn't have an Omega Shinryu encounter. We didn't have, the exile from the nations we had spent 2 years protecting or anything like that.
We did have like a formal, like finally like a formal declaration of like direct warfare with Garlemald, like mano a mano.
That council was the best thing that happened in both of these patches. That council with Varys.
It was fucking awesome though. Like it was so good.
Yeah. We got to see how much of a fucking maniac he actually is.
Yeah.
And then we got to see it again at the end of 4.5. But so let's take a look at what threads are left open. The Empire, Black Rose in particular, the use of it, Solace, Elidibus Xenos, and Elizin Xenos, who we did get a scene for that if anyone somehow still hadn't figured out it was Xenos in the Elizin body, they made it pretty fucking obvious when he opened his eyes this time by showing you the resonant in him. Which honestly, there's the interesting thing about Elizin Xenos
literally had his voice.
Yeah, and they just straight up gave, because this is the first time they voiced him, right?
Yeah,
they didn't voice him in the previous scenes where they showed him.
Yeah.
It seems like he's got two goals right now. One is take back the Empire. He wants that shit back. And two, he wants us to get stronger.
Was he about taking the Empire back, or was he just about taking his? He's saying, "Take back what's mine."
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. He's taking back his body.
I don't think.
Listen. I think he probably wants the Empire once he has that body.
I don't think he cares about. He's shown no interest in politics or leadership or anything like that at any point. He just wants to fight.
He wants to fight us.
Look at the Garland. Yeah. The look at the Garlean flag might point to that, but yeah, I agree. It's the.
Well, he knows where his body is.
Yeah.
He probably saw it, while he was out there fighting.
Yeah, I think he wants his body more than anything else. He wants his body, and then he wants to come and fight us. I think he gives
get stronger.
I really don't think he gives a shit about Garlemald.
That hunt is really haunting him, huh?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
He really can't get over losing. Well, he was okay with losing. He was like, fuck, I can't die. Or at least not in the traditional sense.
Yeah.
Another fucking Xenos rematch. Coming somewhere down the line. It was an okay ending, but it wasn't an ending, I guess was my thing. It wasn't as satisfying as 3.5 or 2.5. That's how I feel. What was satisfying was the end of Hildebrand. That was great.
That was probably the best Hildebrand patch that we've had. I think it was so good. Oh, yeah. I managed to avoid spoilers for the Yojimbo fight all this time. Like, I went to 2 fan fests. I did not do the Yojimbo fight just because I heard a couple of people saying, "Oh, yeah, did you see the twist?" I was like, no. If there's a twist, I don't want to know. If it's a spoiler, I don't want to know. So I got to experience that for the first time the other day. I was like, yes, so good.
Yeah, it's pretty satisfying. So again, another reminder, this is a spoiler cast. If I haven't done Hilda yet, turn that shit off right now. It was really hard for Sly and I think, to keep this. We had to last week we had to have a quick discussion, be like, do we want to say it with a spoiler warning so we can talk about it? And he's like, no, just wait. Just wait one more week.
Yeah.
All the signs have been there since the beginning. But it's still, I couldn't have been ready for it still. When Yojimbo at FanFest says unveil, he goes untargetable, and he comes up and good old boy Greg back for a third fucking rematch.
Oh, so good.
It was so good.
Classic Greg.
It's been tough not mentioning it for the last 5 months, knowing what it was. I will say it's kind of disappointing we don't have a proper Yojimbo in the game. Granted, even the proper Yojimbo in 10 kind of an odd thing to talk about.
Yeah.
They kind of worked him into Gilgamesh's story, and Yojimbo is pretty much the Gilgamesh of Final Fantasy X. Like he's regularly draws comparisons with Enkidu and Daigoro, so it all still kind of worked out the same way.
I'm still wondering what chicken did he fucking eat?
I still reckon he ate Enkidu, and that was just another green chicken.
Dude, I was like, he's got a crystal in his back pocket, and he said he wished Enkidu was here, and it summoned the fucking new primal.
Summoned the chicken.
It summoned the fucking chicken. Dude, the Hildebrand was so basically what happens is we find out Yojimbo has a Saburo. We know that Yojimbo has a Saburo Tsukihiro. We go to get it back, and the signs immediately point to it being Gilgamesh when he says again and challenging to the duel and calling out how fighting all 8 of you
on a bridge.
On a bridge, everything that leads to it, and it's a fantastically fun fight. I have the barding. Barding looks great. I would have liked that hat for my actual character as well, but maybe one day. I got my card. It comes with a Stormblood Gilgamesh card. It's different from the old one, and it's just fun. I highly if you've never done Hildebrand up till now, there are plenty of quests in there that are duds, but there's quite a few, especially in A Realm Reborn, it's just pure gold if you're into it in the first place. This was full of that A Realm Reborn feel in this last part, and Hildebrand hasn't, other than 4.2, Hildebrand hasn't been that bad in Stormblood. It's really just 4.2 because it was only like 8 minutes of Nashu being like, "Hey," and her having a stalker again.
He, to be fair, he's in every scene. It's like Waldo. Like, he's in every scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, even for this patch, he was in every scene.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's just following us around. And if you haven't noticed that, go back and look. Because he's there in any scene that Nashu is present in, which is almost every scene. Go find him. He's like Waldo. And at this point, Shigure is about to commit, seppuku. He's committing ritual suicide to atone for his crimes. Wolf Burglar comes by, turns himself in. Shigure gets off the hook. They find out Master Akabano has been brainwashing people with cocaine, aka Duprism. And then we find out Godbert's under his influence, and the alchemist who's been making its influence.
That was terrifying.
Yeah, dude. The mind-controlled Godbert was the scariest thing.
Ultra Instinct Godbert.
Yeah, Ultra Instinct Godbert was great.
So
what was even more impressive is that fucking Hildebrand got him for a second.
Before the reversal.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I was like, as soon as he was saying you're a Manderville, I was like, this is gonna get fucking turned around and he's gonna get pile drived into the fucking ground. I knew it. And I like how that Godbert woke up by remembering every time that he's power bombed his son and when he was born. I was half expecting to power bomb the baby at that point. Into the fucking crib, just
Oh, jeez. All the good times.
It was a bunch of good times. That ended with our very clear Hildebrand will be in 5.0 teaser. Gilgamesh, we mentioned this at the beginning of the show. We've kind of had a way to the first all along. Yeah. That we kind of just forgot about because it hasn't really been a factor in Final Fantasy XIV, Greg. Gilgamesh is literally known for hopping between dimensions and it being the same Gilgamesh in every Final Fantasy. And so he gets brain. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
I still don't think it's the same in 14 just because the void is different in 14.
Gilgamesh doesn't give a shit about the void. That's the whole point.
No, he doesn't give a shit. Look, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter whether it's the same Gilgamesh or not. It just matters that, he can hop dimensions.
Yeah. And so he gets brainwashed by the cocaine prism. And he opens a portal to the first. Presumably, he just says another dimension.
Yeah.
And all of our characters, protagonists, antagonists, the chicken, they all fall in. And like, will we see Hildebrand again?
Where could he be?
That's more like all the Hildebrands have ended in such a way where you kind of know it's coming. Yeah. They all have. But this one's a lot more direct than him flying off into the distance. He literally was teleported to, and it's like, well, Yeah. And then you unlock the best emote in the game with the best final screen of any storyline, with all the characters that were a part of it dancing in unison, and us unlocking the dance that they said they'd be very upset if we didn't unlock by the end of it all.
That was really good.
Happy, you remember the Key and Peele sketch with the aerobics competition? God damn it. It's
I remember the names, the classroom names, the gangster one, but not that one.
Yeah. Like it's the aerobics competition. It's basically that dance. YouTube that. Like 1988 Crystal Light aerobics competition. That.
The only thing that could be better about the Manderville Mambo is if it actually played the Hildebrand theme when you did it.
That would be amazing.
That would be some next level shit right there. Totally worth doing. Good end to the Hildebrand Stormblood. Better than the main scenario quest. Anyway, and better than the 4.x finale to the main scenario quest. It's the truth, and you know it.
Yeah, all right. It was amazing. It was pretty good. I was like, because I'd done that immediately after doing the MSQ, I was like, I know where Gilgamesh is going. Why don't I just jump in there?
That's what I said too. I was like, dude.
I had the same feeling when we finished the Blue Mage story and they're like, we're just off to the New World. You don't want to come, do you? Nah, you got stuff to do. It's like, no, take me with you. It's exactly the same.
And then we still got the Allied Beast Tribe quests, which tied them together pretty well. I think it tied them better a little bit. It tied them together a little bit better than the Heavensward did.
I haven't done it yet.
Oh, then I won't spoil it.
Either.
I mean, it's spoiler cast, so I really shouldn't give a shit.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
It's exactly who you think it is.
Yeah, no shit.
And basically, he's collecting 3 treasures for Kageyume, I think his name is, the guy who pays Gilgamesh at the end of Kurenai Castle, who's the technical last boss who's paying him. He collects the 3 treasures for him so he can get himself a beautiful wife, the master. And so the 3 treasures, I forget the exact names. It's the Philosopher's Fin, which is a Namazu fin. It's the mer flesh, which the flesh of a mermaid. And I can't remember what the name of the gem is, but the gem ends up being Tukumo or Sukumo, which is the gem that sits in Kabuto's helmet now. That, you know, what's left. He basically became materia after what happened in the Kojin quest. The Stone of Souls. Right. There you go, in the Stone of Souls. And he's basically collecting all those. So he kidnaps Gyore, Alpa, and takes the materia from Kabuto. And it ties together pretty well. It's got a good mix of the humors. They actually tie in some good humor to both the Kojin and the Ananta all together. And the Ananta are visiting Kugane, or Alpa in particular, along with what's her name? Julmin. And what's the name of the male Makote with Julmin? I can't remember his name. Somebody help me out with the name of the male Makote.
I know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking. So they'll know. Mshet or Mzet. There you go. And Mzet. Yeah, they're all there. And so it ties. It's a good tie together. It's not as, I guess, ridiculous as the Vanu Mughal fusion dance, but I thought it was better constructed as a story told, with still a decent amount of humor mixed in. And the reward unlocks are fucking incredible. Like Namazu Mask, Kojin stuff. The Namazu Mask is that's a really good one. Okay. Yeah. The mask is fantastic. So yeah, and his name is MZ Tia. Slyh. Yeah. Slyh, just say you need to be right back. You don't need to type it in secret. Just go. You have to walk away anyway. Yeah, everyone was blowing out of proportion. His name is MZ Tia.
Oh, is the guild toss is from that as well?
Yes, yeah. Throw guild.
Everyone was assuming that would be from Yojimbo.
Yeah, but the guy who actually throws the gill at Yojimbo is in that, so that's why it's from. It's from him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So cool. Yeah, no, it was pretty good. Both the Allied Beast Tribe quests and Hildebrand were better than the MSQ. Anyway, that's all. I'm sorry. It's just
that's fair.
I was more satisfied with these than I was with that. It was overall pretty good. I'm content with 2/3 of that.
Mm-hmm.
But just you got a lot of beast. If you haven't caught up on those, you got a long way to go. You got a lot of beast tribe quests to do.
Oh boy, yes sir.
And some of them are crafter or gatherer related, so we could be there for a while. Yeah. So good luck with that. You know what? You can keep plenty busy until Shadowbringers comes out.
Yeah, you get it done before Shadowbringers.
Yeah, exactly. But other than that, I mean, I guess there's not really too much to unpack from patch 4.56. It was really all about the Hrothgar Vieira dancer thing.
Yeah,
I mean we could talk about Savages unlocked. The 24-man's still locked. The crystalloids from the normal modes are still locked. They raised the tombstone cap.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess there's not. That's just statements. There's not really much to unpack.
Yeah,
there.
That's true.
So
I mean, we can talk about. There's a couple of bits of unique dialogue from a few NPCs now.
Yeah, like Untitled Chapter.
Yeah. So if you go talk to Rambros from St. Coinac's find, he just basically mentions that they're looking for this transmit or whatever it is, but they haven't turned it up yet. And then Unukalhai, hang on, I've actually got it here. So he says, I'm told that it'll soon be your turn to travel across the rifts. And unlike the energies which ravage my home, the star which beckons you is filled with blinding incandescence. Yet a flood of light will invite destruction as surely as a maelstrom of darkness. I wonder then how a champion sworn to the light could serve to redress this imbalance. What strange destiny calls you to this battle? And that's it. But it's something that I've been thinking about as well, is like our power, much of our power comes from the crystals of light. How would we use that to perpetuate darkness?
Well, Unukalhai, tell Daddy that we need some darkness and we need it ASAP.
Yeah, we need some crystals of darkness, dude. Get on it. Because that's what I thought we were going to do. That's how I thought we were going to start 5.0, is by hunting down Ascians to take their crystals of darkness, to take them over to the first. But, I don't know.
Yeah, Temulen also mentions that the shadows still linger.
Mm.
So there's a few new ones. I still think they did the best post-patch dialogue in 2.x when you go around to the city guards. And they're just like, oh, I should arrest you right now. I should really.
But I won't.
I won't, but man, just you
Next
wait.
time I see you.
I don't see you right now. Just keep walking. Just keep walking.
Yeah, I still hope Unukalhai plays a large role in the expansion, or a larger role. He's not in any of the poster artwork. He's not in any of that. But I still want him to.
I really want him to be part of the MSQ, but I don't know. You just look at like Theodred had no impact on the Alamigo story, despite being, the heir to the throne. So I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, one day, Theodred. God, how are they gonna, dude? That job quests are about to get real interesting, because if our job quests,
are they gonna send us to the first?
No, I mean, are they gonna send those NPCs to the first?
Yeah.
Or are we just gonna complete them all in the old zone? Or are they just gonna like connect us with NPCs in the first?
I think it'll either be that, or it'll just be like we'll decide by ourselves that we have to go to the first. Who knows? Who fucking knows? That would be kind of cool though, if like we pick up new abilities from the first, and like, what would the Dragoon equivalent on the first be? Like, I don't know, what would it be called?
I don't know.
Something else. And then like warrior soldier or whatever, and we have to meet like, new job trainers over there that have like use the same weapons and have the sort of equivalent martial art.
I mean, it's got to
be cool.
It's got to be something like that, man.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I don't know. Geomancer for White Mage. That's it. Valkyrie.
Yeah.
And look, everyone's saying Valkyrie or floor tank. For
Valkyrie.
Or floor tank.
Yeah. There you go.
God damn it.
They'll be all right.
They'll
be all right. Yeah, I mean, if dragons are on the first, if Amarang is on the first, then at some point there were dragons at the very least.
You think we get Vizdaja through the first?
No, there's no way. He's on our... I doubt he went between dimensions. That would fucking shock me. if one of the two remaining children jumped
Why
to
not?
another shark. I'm not saying they couldn't. I'm saying it would shock me.
I wouldn't be surprised if, when the Allagans were hunting down the Meracidian dragons, it was just like, nope, this planet sucks.
Sorry, Dad, I'm moving out early.
So, yeah, maybe. I'm kind of hoping that the first is no dragons and no Allagans.
I'm just going to have both now that you said that. It's going
Just
to have Allagan dragons.
Just give us some different problems, all right?
Or Dragonian Allagans. It's going to have fuck babies between Allagans and dragons.
Excuse me?
What?
Not just regular babies, all right? Fuck babies.
Yeah. Dude.
Yeah. How are regular babies made again?
With sex.
Okay.
But not always fucking.
Not always fuck. Okay.
Right.
All right. Okay. All right. So this has been a Stay of the Realm. Great show. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, the Aura. They're the drawn over there, aren't they?
Uh-huh.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
They're dragons over. They're fuck baby dragons over there.
Fuck babies.
I'm just saying. They're made by rubbing horns.
Oh, fucking damn it.
It's all right. We'll find out that the Vieras rub ears at some point.
Mm.
And then you can be a part of it, looking at you right now.
Great. Let's do it.
All right, let's not, but...
I'm into it.
I hope not. Anyway. Yeah, I thought the stork... Yeah, the stork, that's the more normal babies are from the stork.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
See? You got it. Just need a sound clip of Ethys saying, fuck babies. That's it. Just of you saying it.
Fuck babies.
There you go.
There you go.
You got it. I'm sure someone else can get him to say it later again too.
This has been such a great episode.
Yeah, it's so great that we have sponsors for this show, right?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Thank you.
Just as well. Thanks, Still Serious. Thanks, Patreon.
Sponsor this wonderful show that we have. But that is going to be a wrap for State of the Realm. Now, I will say, we do still need to do a 4.5 Arizivia. I think next week might be too soon.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
So, 2 weeks from now, on Tuesday,
Okay.
So put it in your calendar, 13 days
Wednesday
from now.
morning for me. Yeah.
2
weeks.
Yeah, Wednesday morning for you at, what is it? I think the show starts at 10 p.m. your time?
10 a.m.
10 a.m. Sorry, 10 a.m.
Morning.
That's what I meant to say. Yeah. So Wednesday, 10 a.m. local time for you. We'll do Arizivia.
On the 10th. Yes. Yeah. Sounds good. Done. Done's.
Next week, we'll look over some of the interview-related stuff, bring on a different guest, get some additional thoughts on the stuff that's going on. And I think by next week we have... Let me check my calendar real quick. Because next Tuesday is technically the data center expansion for Europe also, isn't it?
Ooh.
We can kind of gauge community reaction. Let me double check that and make sure. You can probably gauge day one community reaction to that too. Can I get a full fucking calendar? Jesus. Yeah, it is the data center expansion for that next week. That's going to be fun. Can't wait to see people's reaction.
It's going to be a mess.
Have fun with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll be all right. I think we'll be all right. Don't worry. Just give it some time. Everything will be all right. But thank you, everyone, for joining us here on State of the Realm for episode 202. And thank you, Ethys, for joining us.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, anytime, guys.
Thank you.
Always, not next week, but anytime.
Yeah, not next week, but any other time.
There you go. So, Ethys, on that note, why don't you tell everyone where they can find you at?
Oh, geez. All right. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all the places. Ethys Asher. That's me. You guys know who I am. I love you. What about Slyh? Slyh?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Slyh, aka Greyfox, Instagram, Slyh, aka Greyfox07, youtube.com/The Velvet Room, facebook.com/Slyh, aka Greyfox, and yeah, pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy, what about you?
You can find me, Mr. Happy1227, at Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. If you haven't seen my trip to Japan on all of those, then don't worry, because I'm working on finishing the 40-plus minute vlog from all 4 days combined into a single video for your YouTube consumption later this evening. And also one that goes into more detail about Eorzea Cafe, do a separate video on that. Plus, we're going to be discussing topics like the Hrothgar stuff and the Viera stuff in a little bit more, and the Dancer stuff in a little bit more detail, at least my input on it. And also, there's one other thing. Oh, yeah, I'm going to be leveling Dancer to 99 and 11, so people can get an idea of what Dancer was like in 11. So, because it has no bearing on 14, but I figure people probably still want to know. So, can't wait. Can't wait to see that video.
Why do you punish yourself like this?
Because it takes like 2 hours to get to 99. What the fuck is that kind of punishment?
Oh, yeah, I suppose
I'm already level 49. It'll take me 2 fucking hours to get to 99 from there. And I'm almost done with my Empyrean weapon.
Oh.
That's the relic. But it's the third relic. There's like 6 relics now. It's one of them.
Nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. But anyway, thank you for joining us for this week's episode. And remember, on that YouTube video, don't forget to enter both the Steel series and this giveaway right here. I'll grab just one box for that. There you go. For the 2060 that we mentioned at the start. Yes. We'll be giving away those every 2 weeks. So you don't want to miss those. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we will see you next week. Let's move on to post-show. Goodbye, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Next week.